A blockbuster Miami Heat trade could be incoming after a brand new report reveals a new mock trade involving this Miami Heat team and the Brooklyn Nets for star player Cameron Johnson. We'll break down the entirety of the mock trade on this episode of Heat Digest, but first, please do remember to subscribe to the channel, as nearly 80% of you guys watching this video are not currently subscribed to the channel. So scroll down and click that subscribe button. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys. But now let's get to it and break down a brand new mock trade, this time involving the Brooklyn Nets and the Miami Heat and star player Cameron Johnson. Now, this is the first time on this channel that we've broken down a trade involving the Brooklyn Nets and this Miami Heat team, but specifically Cameron Johnson, in a very long time. It's been at least a calendar year, and it's very exciting. And the reason I say that is because the Miami Heat are clearly going to be buyers this offseason. There's no way around it. Whether it's they're going all in this offseason or just a quarter of the way in to get through this up-and-coming season to get to the 2026 offseason where they fully deploy and go all in is just a matter of discussion. But no matter what, this offseason there's going to be the Miami Heat will be buying, if in a sense. Just it depends on to what degree in which they try to go out there and make their splashes. But with this article written by Sean Jordan, where they give us a mock trade involving Cameron Johnson and the Brooklyn Nets and this Miami Heat team, this could be one of the better options on the table for this Miami Heat organization, and it may not even be relatively close. Now, the article is titled Miami Heat Land Former First-Round Picks in Blockbuster Trade Proposal. If you go to the article, it then proposes this mock trade where the Miami Heat would receive forward Cameron Johnson and guard Keon Johnson in exchange for Terry Rozier, Pelle Larsson, and a 2029 first-round pick, all going back to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, a few moving parts. It's not the biggest trade package, mock trade that we've broken down on this channel, but it seems very reasonable, and it seems like a win for this Miami Heat team. And yes, it would be considered blockbuster because a young, promising rookie in Pelle Larsson would be on the way out, and a young stud in Cameron Johnson would be on the way back in to Miami to play the small forward position for this Heat team, which leaves me to think, how much size can this Miami Heat team try to acquire? Just think about it. If this trade were to be done and Andrew Wiggins, Cameron Johnson, Bam Adebayo, and Kel'el Ware were all on the same team. Just imagine if they were all in the same set. And you have Wiggins at the 2, Johnson at the 3, Bam at the 4, and Kel'el Ware at the 5. That team is just loaded defensively and rebounding wise. The length, the overall size would be devastating to play against, and it would be a joy to watch because the defense would be played at such a high level, as Cameron Johnson is no slouch defensively, and we already know how Wiggins, Bam, and Kel'el all play on the defensive end of the floor. That would be a masterclass on the defensive end of the floor for this Miami Heat team with great options and great offensive abilities on the offensive end of the floor. This trade is really, the more I think about it, the more I actually like it. Cameron Johnson is still extremely, extremely young. So is Keon Johnson, one of just, it feels like an added piece in this trade, who would still be very useful and utilized with this Miami Heat organization. Only 23 years of age and coming off a 10.5 point game per game season, while also averaging 4 rebounds and 2 assists while shooting 40% from the field. Now, he would be a good bench piece. He would be filling in with players like Tyler Hero as well as Devion Mitchell, but again, would fit just the overall shooting guard just mold that the Miami Heat would be looking for. More of a scoring guard, obviously not someone like Dwayne Wade, not some high-end player who's going to give you 18 to 25 a game, but anywhere from that 8 to 14 mark, it seems like Keon Johnson could come in off the bench as more of a utility guy, utility guard type of guy, and fill it up in bunches for this Miami Heat team. Now, here are his stats. The last ones were Cameron Johnson's. Again, you've seen a level of progression from year to year from Keon Johnson. And in doing so, he's been pretty damn good. Starting off his rookie year with 7 points, obviously dropping down to 3.5 in his sophomore year. But following that, 10 points, 5, 6.5, and now 10.5 points, having his best year of his career up to this point in this past season for the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, he's been a journeyman, has jumped around a bunch of teams through a short period of time up to this point in his career, which is interesting. But again, it shows that he has had some level of value, that teams have been asking for him in some way or another, whether it be late trade deadline, late in the offseason, or again, just picking him up in a trade package where he has to be an added piece for one reason or another. But the biggest takeaway from this trade, the reason this trade would be considered a blockbuster, is for this young 29-year-old man right here in Cameron Johnson. Now, he played at Pittsburgh in college. He then moved to UNC, and he was phenomenal in both of those places. And he's been pretty damn good up to this point in his professional career. Now, he maintains great size, being 6'8", 210, and he also plays a small forward position, which means, again, he's going to maintain a lot of size amongst the teams that he's playing against. Now, if you look at his overall stats, when he was drafted to Phoenix, Arizona, he was a damn good basketball player, but again, a very young player at that. He since then was traded to the Brooklyn Nets, where he is fully developed and really found himself on the basketball court. Now, obviously progressing from one year to another, but yes, last year having one of the best years of his career, putting up 4.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists with 19 total points per game. Cameron Johnson actually playing a phenomenal role for a really bad Brooklyn Nets team, highlighting his overall abilities, not only offensively, but as well as defensively, averaging just under 1 steal per game. He has great length, he has great size, he has great ability both offensively and defensively, and has showed the overall optimism that teams could maintain in him because of the overall abilities he does maintain. He is still relatively young. I think he has a lot of upside in front of him. If this Miami Heat team could go out and acquire someone like Cameron Johnson, who has 1 year left on his contract, which is not at the craziest price for the overall talent you are getting on a 4-year, $94 million contract, breaks down to $21 million per year this year as well as next. It seems like Cameron Johnson, for the overall value, is a steal. He would be an absolute steal. The overall production he would give you, the size and abilities he would give you offensively as well as defensively on this number for a contract would be absolutely phenomenal for this Miami Heat team to go out and acquire. I think it would be an overall steal, and it would greatly improve this Miami Heat team. For Keon, no, the price is not bad at all. Overall, a 1-year club deal. And again, only $2.5 million for this young man. Another, again, just a utility piece for this Miami Heat team to use and really exploit, as he hasn't really been highlighted up to this point in his career due to the lack of consistency and the ability to find a rhythm that he's had up to this point in his career. That'll be it for this episode of Heat Digest. Thank you guys for watching. Please let me know down below what you guys think about this new mock trade scenario involving Cameron Johnson coming to the Miami Heat in a blockbuster trade. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next one.